Hi, this is Bob Weiss. I'm the host of Shakin Your World. Cheers.
My friends, welcome home. We have a very interesting edition of Shakin Your World today. I've got a very good friend in the house. Jose is here to talk about all things Cuba.
Yes.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank
Salute,
you.
huh?
Yeah.
So, Jose, you've been in this country now for a while.
I've been in this country since May 13, 1980.
1980. You've seen a lot of changes then.
I came from Cuba, Mariel Boat-lift
Okay.
in 1980 to United States.
Mariel Boat-lift, that's easily 100,000 people came over, right?
More than 120,000 people
Wow.
altogether.
Wonderful.
You know?
So is this everything you imagined it to be?
Everything changed
Yeah.
same time because different time, different people, different everything. When I came from Cuba, I believe American have fun. You can go through every single bar in Miami, New York, everywhere. You can listen to music. Right now, you go everywhere, you don't listen to no music nowhere.
That's
and
true.
Something changed. And I believe it's for the worse because before it's happy people. Right now, everybody worry about a lot of things, you know. It's like Cuba, a lot of changing over there too. Back in the day, different ideology. When the Soviet Union destroyed or collapsed, everything changed. And then the government had to do a reconstruction and revolution, no be happy no more like the way before.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because the Soviet Union, because in my way of thinking, it's difficult to make the assumption that we're in the U.S. I've been to a lot of cities, and they don't feel at all like the U.S. They're just devoid of energy. It's a terrible thing.
Because Castro make his political against United States, and then create a lot of people, put him in people's mind. United States the worst people on the world and stuff like that, and United States never do nothing against Cuba.
Sure.
Never at all.
Except for the blockade, but
You know, the only thing Russia using Cuba to put the missile. That way he can push America and say, we right here 90 miles from you, wah. But besides that, when Nikita Khrushchev taking the missile away, he told America, you never do nothing against Cuba because this is in the paperwork. They say, why do you create all this stuff against America when you know America not going to do nothing against you, period. The only time Cuba blow the missile, you know, and blow the planes, because the plane came to a Cuban.
the U-2 plane.
Yeah, these people supposed to look out. Everybody left in
Right.
the boat list or whatever, but now these people transgress to the
Right.
country through, you know,
Right.
and he say no coming through no more, and throw paper, you know, flaps and stuff like that in the city of Havana
Sure.
a couple times, and no listen is what happened.
Yeah. So what did you think? Obviously, you're a relatively young man when you came over on the Mariel Boat-lift, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you think about JFK?
John F. Kennedy, he tried to well, I believe it, you know, what happened is nobody can go against Cuba from United States from the soil. And then when these people went to Nicaragua or Central America, you go in Cuba like a grandma, and America never show out, you know. Cuban people feel like being traded. You understand what I say?
I do.
And
I
then
do.
it's why he coming with all the rumors, like Cuban got something to do with the mafia to kill John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas. You know, all these people talk about all the time about this situation, but nobody know nothing about it, really. But I know one thing: the Cuban went to Matanza, you know, to grandma to you know, to try against Playa Girón, against Fidel Castro, and America I'm running behind and never show out. You know, it's what Cuban people feel about it. I believe it so myself.
So what about the current regime, both in Cuba and here? Because you've got Diaz now, right, in Cuba. And of course, we at the moment have Mr. Trump here in America. So how do you feel about those relationships?
Relationship between who?
America and Cuba.
Right now, before, I believe it, when Obama era, it's the first time a United States president went to Cuba. The first time ever. And I believe Cuban feel like Obama traded because he's changing a lot of things in the policy, the immigration policy United States have. We have before, like fee dry or fee wet. And a lot of people, when he's changing the policy, a lot of people stuck in Mexico, in Central America, and never, and be sent back to Cuba because the situation Obama created. It's what I believe so, But it's a lot of politicians, like Lincoln Diaz-Balart, Michael Rubio, Ileana Ro-Retelling, all these Congress and senators from Florida.
Right.
He been working like before, the government gave like $40 million to create something against Cuba. These people created only Radio Marti in Costa Rica. But I believe so. What you have to do is give the people from Cuba, give some food, give some progress, and the government go away. Before that, everything has to come from inside Cuba, nothing coming from outside.
Right.
You understand?
So Cuba has a great relationship with everybody in Central and South America.
Supposed to be like when Chavez lived.
Right.
Chavez tried to create because he got money.
Right.
By the time
Venezuela Chavez, not Mexico Chavez.
No,
Okay. Right.
Venezuela Chavez. By the time Chavez got money, because the only time the oil, the price went out $120 for barrel. Not right now, it's $20, $25, $30. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
When he got the type of money, he wanted to create a bank.
Sure.
He created money can compete with the dollar. And then what he's trying to do, all the South America, like Argentina, he got the Kirchner, Chile, he got the lady, I don't remember her name, her father used to be a communist too. And then he got Evo Morales, he got Correa on Bolivia, he got Lula on Brazil. He got all these people all together creating, like in South America. Only Colombia is out of this situation because Colombia got a lot of things because the drug trade
Right.
and all the stuff, America helped them out a lot, trying to be involved in this situation because all the drug coming to America. So you have to go with the problem coming. You understand what I mean? Say? Now, he won Nicaragua. And then there's one in Guatemala. The dude trying to I don't remember his name. I know the dude coming from the Congress in the nighttime on the underworld and take him away to Costa Rica because he tried to, like Mexico before. See, Mexico got the election like this dude got right now. He's a communist too. Entonces, from Mexico, Costa Rica never involved in this, but you see Mexico, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala,
Okay.
all these people coming together with Chavez. It's a big problem to America, but America got a lot of money involved in Mexico. He never let the government right now take over by the time.
Well, my experience in Guatemala was not a necessarily preferable one. There so many of the drug cartels are from Colombia and set up shop now in Guatemala. A beautiful country, beautiful people, but economically it is so, in my mind, just as a guy in the street, was really stunted by these drug cartels that really have taken over everything.
Yeah,
And they've taken over politics as well.
you have to do like the government in Guatemala. No, because even Chapo told about it about his brother involved in the situation. You understand what I mean?
Sure.
And Chapo testified. All of these people in government in Central America involved in drug, Chapo already testified against.
Right, I was in Guatemala when El Chapo was in Guatemala as well.
Yeah, he got kidnapped, and the dude turned around and got his cop. He traded. but kill his daughter. And you know, the dude has to run it for a minute because he's a very powerful dude. And he paid to do whatever, you know, by the time.
So let's back up a little bit. What happened to Fidel? Because here he was, the great liberator, right?
Yeah.
And yet he changed because it seemed that his policies as he went on in time were not necessarily for the betterment of the people. In my mind, he kind of sold out to the Soviet Union. And I can understand that he had to get things. He had to get fertilizer. He had to get support for things, right? But it seemed to me that he did things without the thought first of the Cuban people. I thought he changed at some point. Did you feel that as well?
He changed because he see the politician he's running, you know, have to change a lot of time to time. And then he using the same way he has to use to be Stanley. You know, anytime he think he betrayed for somebody, he make it purga. You know, everybody in the power, even, I remember when he killed General Ochoa, all these people running Angola. Angola give money, give pay in diamonds, and then he traded the diamonds in Panama, and then he give from Panama what he need, computer, all the stuff, you know, it's a trading, liberty trade in Panama. You can go buy whatever you want. Nobody asking you nothing about it, you know. Now, these people buy a ship.
Okay.
Calling Comandante Pinares. He is supposed to take people from Havana to Giron and come back and stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, Ochoa trying to sell the ship to Castro.
Okay.
And Castro calling trade.
Okay.
Because he say, the money belongs to me. How are you going to buy something with my money and trying to sell it to me? But that's excuse he using because he got a lot of people following him. Because he's running the north military, the north side.
Okay.
His brother calling the south side.
Okay.
Now, when his brother see a lot of people following him, he's sending to Angola to take care of the sea. He never wanted Ochoa no more in the country. Now, Ochoa running for two brothers. The two brothers used to be Castro like this because two brothers went to school in America before revolution coming.
Okay.
Now, when Castro come back, these people know how to scuba dive. And then he using both of them the side by side. That way, see somebody trying to kill him under the water and stuff like that. And coming very close.
Okay.
And these people speak English very well.
Sure.
I'm going to tell you what's the last name because the dude escaped from Chile when Pinochet hit it over there. He inside Palacio de la Moneda and nobody know how he went out and get away.
So who killed more people, Pinochet or Fidel?
I believe in Pinochet.
Pinochet. Okay.
You understand? Fidel never do that. You know, he going against people against him.
Okay.
Pero he no kill, raro. Che Guevara killed more people in Cuba.
Yes.
Even Fidel. Che Guevara is no Cuban dude. He's from Argentina. He no even worry about Cuban people.
We have a lot to cover here. So, you know, I've been to Cuba, and I see that there are statues of Che everywhere. There's images of Che everywhere, much more so than the Fidel brothers or the Castro brothers. And I wonder, why is that?
I believe, if Fidel using Che.
Okay.
It's like using Camilo.
Okay.
You understand? Because we people very brave. And then he right behind, he's the mind.
Okay.
Behind the sea.
Okay.
Even his brother, you understand what I mean? He's using his brother
Well,
too.
Fidel was a great strategist. And the Anacurnia, a very smart
man. He went
man.
to school,
right.
And then, you know, and Batista got here and let it go. And then when he said, La historia me absorberá, the history absorbed me.
So Baptista began, I think he was a sergeant of the garrison, right?
Yeah.
When the revolution took place, 59, 61.
Batista take it over, you know, like he froze in 1933.
Okay.
And then later on, when American coming, you know, he on the power, and then he see all the business come out.
Very, very charismatic man, obviously. Got all these people
Let me tell you
him.
something. Batista spent more money in Cuba, in the public, like arroz and everything for the public. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even Castro.
Sure.
Okay, Castro spent a lot of money in school and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? But later on, he got the problem. You got a lot of people, a lot of engineers, a lot of doctors, a lot of people in different, but you don't got no job for it. So how you see, Taxi car is a doctor in Cuba right now because you're making more money driving a taxi car.
Yeah.
Even
than a doctor, an engineer, anything. Yeah, I saw that.
Because you don't have no job for these people.
Right.
You understand? Well, what he trying to do before, like he created all these type of engineering, architecture, or construction, because when he go like in Nicaragua, or he go to Angola, or he go every place, he's selling Cuban, be teachers, be people in construction, he using, it's a free labor, but he get paid for it.
So Batista came up, and he was a sergeant. He made himself into a colonel. Eventually, he made himself into a general. He really was the kingmaker because he really helped. There were 6 or 7 different presidents at one point that he appointed each one. They didn't last long because he disagreed with him, so they disappeared or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, he took the reins, and then from him, the revolution expanded, and that's when the Castros came on the scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So very bloody at the first side of that, right?
In the beginning, you know, Batista lose Cuba because the people he got around.
Okay.
They started do a lot of things against people from university, and a lot of people got killed and show out in the street. Or, you understand what I mean? In the portal, everywhere outside business.
Right.
And then it's how Castro take it over and got people mind. You know, in the beginning, he very smart. He started running. He said, "We don't need no more guns because we already went revolution." And you know, then he take every gun from people in Cuba.
Sure.
And then later you got 5, 6 house. He said, "Reforma urbana." It means you don't need 5 houses. You need 1 house for yourself, and the other one he gonna give it to other people. But he give it something not belong to him.
Sure.
Belong to somebody else. You know, when you give it something not belong to you, you don't care.
Well, you know, I watched some old film, and I saw Fidel at the early days, and then I saw Fidel at some point where he came on and said, "I'm a leftist, I'm a Marxist." So he made that change, and I think that was still, in his mind, that was for the betterment of the people.
The only people communists in Cuba from before, Lázaro Peña.
Okay.
It's a black dude has to use running like a syndicate. And you know, in here what he calling here, when the people, like Italian people running what do you calling?
The mafia?
No, it's not mafia. It's like work. How about work? Like construction work, 30 days for do this construction. But
Labor union, it's...
the union.
Okay, union.
Well,
Okay.
He running the union, Lázaro
Okay.
Peña. And then you got Carlos Rafael Rodriguez
Okay.
and Blas Roca. It's only these people are used to be communists even before. In 1926, 1927, you understand, all these people communists, Fran País is the one went to Moncada and all that stuff.
I never appreciated that. So it's that close to the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia.
Yeah, you understand? Entonces, these people is the one got in mind, Carlos Ma, Federico Inglis,
Okay.
and follow the ideology.
Okay.
You understand? Entonces, how Castro be involved because these people is the one have to use it running the country from here before and show here how to run it.
So Fidel came from a fairly wealthy family. He was well educated.
His father had to use it be a Latin fundi, like he got his own sugar field and his own central. He can make sugar cane running through and all that stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. Very successful.
That's entonces what he did, he make it Reforma Urbana, it's about house and property in the cities. And then Reforma Agraria, it's about countryside. You got a lot of land, you don't need the land. The land belongs to the government, you can get a little bit for yourself.
Sure.
So you got 500 cows, you need 3 cows, the other 497 belong to the government. You understand? And then he started taking left and right property and all the stuff from people.
Right. They also took people that worked in the cities and started making them work in the farms, right?
Yeah.
Completely.
And then he's changing a lot of things. Like when he started, he very frustrated in the 70s. He wanted to make it 10 million tons of sugar.
But production went down.
Production went down because you cannot produce sugar cane over and over and over. You have to do alternative.
It's a natural
You have
product.
to do sugar cane and then you can do something else.
Right.
Like in here, doing soybeans and doing
But tobacco, whatever.
whatever. You know, but you cannot be frustrated on one thing. You understand what I mean? And this is how when we want to grow out in the next year, nothing come out. You
Yeah.
say, what? And then he had to change it when I had to used to be a dude named Carlos the He had to used to be right hand from Castro. When Raúl take
60s, 70s?
70, 60 something and 70.
Okay.
Carlos Laje is the first people tell Castro how we can switch from to tourists, to the tobacco business, to a lot of stuff he produce and he not explode the way he's supposed to do it to make money.
Sure.
Because Castro, rich people, he giving everything in Cuba.
Right.
And rich people giving us oil and only thing he got is some flowers. That way we can make it the bread. Cuban eat a lot of bread.
Yeah.
When you don't got no bread in Cuba, you in trouble.
Yeah.
You understand? Lo que es bread and eggs, Castro know how to manipulate the thing you can live in. Like he using a lot of split pear. He using beans, the kind of bean he using to people to buy. A lot of eggs, a lot of protein in the eggs. You know what I mean? Like Cuban people eat a lot of rice, potato, and stuff like that. But he don't give you the much. He give you to use to buy.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's what I don't understand. He's political because we don't got that many people, and we got something we can survive on our own. See, we know how to produce it. You understand what I'm saying? But he trying to give it all what it belongs to the people, Cuban people.
I see many contrasts in Cuba, and what I typically say to people is, well, first and foremost, you've got the best educational system in all of Central and South America. You have highly educated people. And in many ways, you are, to me at least, you are a reflection of Spain much more so than any other nation in the Caribbean, right? So you're very westernized. You've got a phenomenal medical system that in many ways rivals some of our own things here. The way you can cure some forms of cancer is incredible.
Even some people from here went to like Muhammad Ali. He went to treatment Parkinson's disease over there in Cuba.
Yeah.
And he spent a lot of money in research and a lot of people smart, and went to school. But later on in the day, when the Soviet Union collapsed, everything changed in Cuba, even the people, everything, you understand? Because a lot of prostitution, you not seen it before.
Right.
You understand? All the stuff you seen, you
got to feed your family. You got to find a way to
yeah,
make
you
things
have to
happen,
wait to making money to feed family. There's a lot of young ladies, take over and say, well, it's my responsibility.
Right.
Because my father, my brothers, no got no, and then she do something wrong, he go to jail for a long time, and then it's all oppression together,
Right.
It's what happened.
Well, since we talked about that, I have noticed that if you're more than 3 or 6 blocks away from your neighborhood, the police often will stop you to find out why, as a Cuban, why you're walking around someplace. And they make the assumption automatically, if you're a woman, that you're in prostitution, you're going to see a client somewhere or something. So in some ways, it's unfortunate to have this incredibly well-educated clientele or citizens, but they don't have any work. They can't do anything with the knowledge that they have because they're not the materials that are there, there's not the infrastructure that's there, whatever. It's got to be just devastating for you, for all Cubans, to be there and not be able to maximize your potential for what you do. Because I've noticed that, and it's not, you go to a lot of countries and everybody wants to be westernized, everybody wants to get, well, there's a kind of a free flow, for the most part, going back and forth between Miami and Havana, and people know what's going on in the world, right? And they want to be a part of that world. And whether it's because of our government or because of their government, it's just not happening. You can't move forward. So you got these beautiful estates that have just been jeopardized from 50 or 60 years of neglect because the storms that come through and there's no materials to afford to fix anything for repairs. And yet sometimes you find these just gorgeous things that look like they could be in Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
And then half a block later, it's
everything destroyed.
Everything's destroyed. You're like in Gary, Indiana. It's crazy.
It's what it is, because the people don't spend no money on the cities in the country supposed to help them out, people construction, fixing your stuff, because it's hard to find some
I've noticed when I've been there, there's been a change though, that people are allowed to own some things now.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can own your own house completely,
listen,
but
I really the other day, like he growing some garlic. He got a lot of tons of garlic.
Sure.
The government come and say, I pay you $5 for a pound of garlic. Okay. Now, the same garlic going for $15.
Oh.
Now, he going behind the government and selling for $15 somewhere. The government find now he's taking everything from here. Now he in jail. He no got no garlic, no land, no business, no nothing.
Yeah, there's no due process. I realized that as well.
You understand?
So I saw there's the police, there's the militia, or the military police, and then you've got the secret police. There's always somebody with their eyes, always.
Always, you know, in Cuba, it's like China and Russia, like your neighbor watching you.
Right.
Even family broken apart because some people, you know, everybody got different view.
Very divided, I see that.
You know, and stuff like that.
So Angola, what happened there? So
Angola, I believe it, you know, Castro has to leave because the man in charge over there, he killed. You know? And now, you know, when the people fight and follow, some people got the power to follow others, okay? And then when you kill, a lot of people discuss about that because you kill the people he been following for years. You understand what I mean?
Right, right.
And now you want to accuse him he's a traitor. Entonces, people went off and then he had to cut it off everything because it's destruction over there. A lot of people left over there and never come back to Cuba.
Right.
You understand? He went to Guinea Equatoriana, everybody speaks Spanish.
Okay.
You understand? Because Castro running Ethiopia, Angola.
Okay.
Okay? But when you got a break or something, you go to Guinea Equatoriana. That way you don't go to Cuba. Everybody speaks Spanish. You have fun for a couple of weeks, and then you come back to work and again.
I didn't realize that Entebbe was such a
used to be, you know, the Cuban used to be like a mercenary or security guard for gold mining, oil field, diamond fields, and stuff like that. You know, it's only represent.
Yeah. So a lot of people were killed in Angola, right? During the uprising, the changes, the rebellion.
A lot of people got killed in Angola.
Yeah.
Young guys too, 16, 17, 18 years old. Because in Cuba, when you're 16 years old, no matter what, you have to go military service.
Military, right.
Okay, it's not like in here, it's you want to go and create your career about military. Over there, is you have to go for 3 years. So if you like it, you be 5, 10, or you create your own destiny through the military service, you know. Besides that, he got 2 military service. He got EJT, Ejército Juvenil, the work, only cutting sugar cane, construction going on, school, or the cow, you know, making fence. That way the cow, vaquerias, you know, everybody calling.
Okay.
That way he doing through the kids, 16, 17, 18 years old, working the railroad, fixing railroad, construction, school, construction, hospital, and always is in the countryside. Fidel trying to take care of a lot of people in the countryside, he be forget about Batista. Batista no spend not too much money in the countryside. It's what happened to him too. No lie.
He wanted the camera. He wanted the attention, right?
No lie. No water running. And you understand? And then 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and no light. Everybody sleeping. Entonces, the people in the country got 13, 14 kids. Well, because no watching no TV.
Gotta occupy yourself sometime, right?
Period, you know?
Yeah.